Well, hello, everyone. Awfully glad you're here with us. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thanks so much for joining us on the ABC10 app. We start tonight with protests continuing in and around Minneapolis. This after the death of ICU nurse Alex Preddy. He was shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent over the weekend. And as President Trump and Governor Walz are talking, the nation's border czar is now making his way to Minnesota because of the growing crisis over immigration enforcement tactics. But several federal agents could be leaving as early as tomorrow. ABC's Karen Travers has more from the White House.
Today, a major change in the Trump administration's operations in Minnesota in the wake of the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. President Trump sending his border czar Tom Homan to oversee immigration enforcement in the state, saying Homan will, quote, report directly to me.
Mr. Homan is the point person for cooperating with state and local authorities and corresponding with them, again, to achieve this level of cooperation to subdue the chaos on the streets of Minneapolis.
Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino is expected to leave Minneapolis tomorrow, according to multiple sources. The White House today distancing itself from comments Saturday by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and senior advisor Stephen Miller, who accused Preddy of domestic terrorism.
I have not heard the president characterize Mr. Preddy in that way.
But Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt also pointing the finger at Minnesota's Democratic leaders.
This tragedy occurred as a result of a deliberate and hostile resistance by Democrat leaders in Minnesota.
Earlier Monday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called President Trump to talk about how the two can work together to find a solution to the unrest over ICE operations. The president posting on social media that he and Walz seem to be on a, quote, similar wavelength. A spokesperson for Walz saying the president agreed to, quote, look into reducing the number of federal agents in Minnesota. Walz called the conversation productive, but in a new Wall Street Journal op-ed writes, I have repeatedly appealed to President Trump to lower the temperature, but he refuses. State and local officials say weeks of protests have had a negative impact on police officers who are spread thin and exhausted.
Well, I'm hopeful that folks can get together, that cooler heads will prevail, and that we can figure this thing out. Because regardless, the current situation is not sustainable.
Democrats are now vowing to oppose a package that includes funding for the Department of Homeland Security and 5 other departments. If they do not vote for passage, it could mean a partial government shutdown at the end of the week. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
It all comes as California Democratic senators and assembly members gathered today to call for the resignation of Kristi Noem and for more accountability from Congress. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh was there.
I normally pack my license, but now lately I've had to pack my passport just to prove my citizenship in the event that I get stopped because I'm brown.
Monday morning, a crowded stage of California's Democratic legislators reaffirming the state's stand against the Trump administration over federal immigration enforcement.
Step up, speak out, and take action and lead in a moment in time where the federal government is taking us to one of our darkest points in history.
Deporting violent criminals has been done before under both Republican and Democratic administrations. It's been done, and it has been done without chaos.
Legislators indirectly referencing SB 54, the California Values Act, California's so-called sanctuary law, which limits local and state law enforcement from assisting with federal immigration efforts.
Our state and local law enforcement do not participate in these raids.
And committing to additional legislation to bring additional state-level protections.
That is not public safety. That is public failure. Kristi Noem, if she has integrity, she must resign.
That's right.
State legislators also hardening pressure on federal electeds to oppose a package of federal funding bills, one of which includes additional funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
Don't vote to give him any more of our money.
To move Congress to do their job. And if that means shutting down the federal government, then so be it. Shut it down.
Both California Senators Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla have said they would vote no. Governor Newsom, too, has decried new funding and is calling on Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem to resign and Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino to be fired.
Instead of making us safer,
ICE agents are endangering our communities.
All this as President Trump calls out Democrat-run sanctuary cities and states for refusing to cooperate with ICE.
You should be shocked to no one that Donald Trump is enforcing federal immigration laws. Let's stop these nonsense of sanctuary city, sanctuary state laws, and let's work in conjunction with the federal government, just like President Obama did, just like President Clinton did.
Jenny He, ABC 10.
Now, Senate Bill 747 is set to be heard on the Senate floor. The ICE mask ban is still awaiting a ruling.
Meanwhile, new developments today in the case against the accused Stockton serial killer.
Yeah, the killings happened back in 2021 and 2022. And today, the DA's office announced they plan to seek the death penalty in the now more than 3-year-old case.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras was in court and has the latest tonight.
The defendant, Wesley Brownlee, didn't have much of a reaction when the DA's office made that announcement that it would be seeking the death penalty in this case. He had his head down for most of the hearing today, which has been the case for many of the other previous hearings as well. And his mannerisms were part of the key theme here today. His own attorneys telling the judge that their client is not talking to them. Before a trial can be set, and just 2 months after a grand jury indicted the accused Stockton serial killer Wesley Brownlee at the DA's office Monday, all eyes were on sentencing.
I have decided that my office will seek the death penalty against the defendant for these crimes.
At least 7 crimes with enhancements, according to the DA. The November indictment includes 6 murder charges and 1 attempted murder charge.
We anticipate that we would be able to start a trial. We asked for a trial date as soon as possible.
But even with an indictment in hand for prosecutors, there are still obstacles.
So the court's going to order that the transcript be sealed.
In court Monday, Brownlee's lawyers calling into question the validity of that indictment, given that proceedings have been suspended while the court assesses Brownlee's competency to stand trial. His lawyers telling the judge, quote, "Our client is not talking to us." The defense said it will be filing a demurrer to determine whether the indictment was valid.
We also believe that the defendant's choices are by his own volition, that this will be developed through the case law and through the facts, and that we will show that he is competent to stand trial.
Competency is still in question. During the hearing Monday, the judge reappointed 2 doctors to evaluate Brownlee.
To the victims and citizens of San Joaquin County, you have my commitment that I will get justice for you.
Brownlee is due back here in court in March, where they could decide to unseal the grand jury transcript. In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Good to know, Gabriel. Keep us posted as you learn more. Today, Brownlee's attorneys tell ABC 10 they have no comment. Stay with us for updates.
Well, tonight we're hearing from family and friends of a beloved dance instructor who was hit and killed in a crash at a Folsom light rail station. Today, her father identified her as 22-year-old Eleanor P. Steffi. James Weems says he received the call over the weekend, letting him know that she was hit by a driver at a Folsom light rail station on Thursday. She was headed to work as a dance instructor at the Hawkins School of Performing Arts in Folsom. He says he hopes his daughter leaves a lasting impression on the children she was around.
Even if not in dancing, in character. Because I know they've been touched in a miraculous way. I just don't know how that unfolds.
Folsom police say the cause of the crash is under investigation, but they do not believe alcohol was a factor in the crash. We'll have more from her friends and family coming up next on the news at 6.
Still ahead, we meet a 92-year-old woman working to make ends meet and the chance encounter that turned into a wave of generosity.
And a deadly winter storm slams the Northeast, leaving millions in very cold conditions.
Finally tracking a weather system bringing us a chance of rain and snow, the timing and totals.
Now to this amazing story. Things are finally getting easier for a 92-year-old woman in Florida who has been struggling to pay her bills.
And guess what? It's all thanks to one stranger who saw her working and decided to get involved. Alex Browning has the story.
I noticed this lady working in the dressing room. This woman's got to be in her 80s, and she is still working.
The sight of 92-year-old Muriel on her feet working caught April by surprise as she shopped at the Pompano Burlington a few weeks ago.
My heart sank. I thought, why is a 92-year-old woman working? It just seemed unbelievable to me.
Well, I have to. Sadly, it's the reality of Muriel's golden years. Her Social Security just doesn't pay the bills.
It's the rent, and it's the car payment, and the car insurance, and the telephone, electricity, and cable.
And April knew she had to do something after meeting Muriel. She posted originally on the Pompano Beach Facebook group. Then someone had the idea of a GoFundMe. The response, pretty incredible.
And it has taken off. People have been so generous.
A few weeks in, just over $5,000 raised.
Well, I was really surprised. Yeah. And I didn't know she was going to do all this. I thought she was just going to give me a card and say, she said, this is to help you, See, this is coming apart.
And the goal also to find someone to help Muriel fix the floors in her mobile home.
How could you not want to help?
A hardworking woman charging ahead at 92 years young with the help of generous South Florida.
I don't know who they are.
What's your message to them?
I really thank them very much, and I don't know what I'd do without them.
92 years young and putting us all to shame, isn't she?
I know, I agree.
I mean, getting around so well, and she may now get to fix that floor and also fully retire. But you know what? I bet she also does it because she loves to stay active as well.
I agree. We hear that with so many stories like this. They're rare stories, but once in a while you get gems like this. And it just really goes to show if you open your eyes, get out of your phone, look around when you're at the store, you'll see someone like Muriel and maybe see that they might need help, and really amazing things can happen.
You just never know what people are going through, right?
You just never know. And it worked out well in this case. Next at 5:30, dozens of people
this lady
are dead.
working
Several
in the
feet
dressing
of snow are
room.
blanketing the ground, and brutal wind chills are still in the single digits. The latest on the life-threatening conditions and when relief may finally come.
And air travel chaos after the massive storm with the most flight cancellations since the pandemic. What to expect if you have travel plans.
Our free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app has so much to offer. Get your news live and on demand 24/7 so you can watch the news when you want. There's breaking news, extended forecast, and so much more. We have everything you need to get through your day and ready for the weekend. We've got you covered on money-saving tips, travel, entertainment, and sports. Download the free ABC10 Plus app on your smart TV and popular streaming devices like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. ABC10. We stand for you 24/7.
Tonight, many people living in the U.S. are facing another night of below freezing temperatures and no electricity after a massive winter storm dumped more snow on the Northeast over the weekend. We are now learning at least 30 people have died due to the storm. The Northeast is buried in inches of snow, more than a foot in some areas. Boston saw more than 18 inches. In Philadelphia, there is so much snow piled up, they're using backhoes to pick up the snow and dump it into melting machines. New York City seeing nearly a foot of snow. The brutal cold is still lingering with wind chills in the single digits in parts of the Northeast. Air travel is now slowly resuming a day after the highest number of cancellations since the COVID-19 pandemic. Nearly 12,000 U.S. flights were canceled yesterday, according to flight tracking website FlightAware. Experts say the cancellations and delays will likely increase as the storm makes its way across the country. So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods now. Some really dramatic scenes out there, and really for the parts of the country that don't have all of that equipment and aren't used to all of that kind of snow, right? We were talking about Boston and Philadelphia. They got all the tools. They're ready for this every winter. But we talked about the South before. Not really ready.
Yeah, some of my folks down in Alabama, for example, dealing with some of those freezing temperatures, at least, right, with the ice and things of that nature. Thing is, Monica, you're tracking, what, a bit of rain and snow for us as well?
I know. We're going to flip things around just a little bit in terms of the precipitation. Still dealing with the cold there throughout the eastern half of the country, though. In fact, we're still in the single digits throughout much of the Great Lakes. That's what we're dealing with for tonight. Now, that being said, as Chris was mentioning, there's a lot of places that are in the deep south that just aren't equipped for this. But in the Great Lakes, they just call this winter. Yeah, this is what we basically deal with, is feet of snow at times and just really cold temperatures. So a lot of folks there are hunkering down and just dealing with some of that cold air. All right, let's talk about the West. And we are looking at temperatures currently in the 50s. Saw some peaks of sunshine out there, so it's a beautiful evening. It is going to be chilly, though. We're at 39 degrees right now for Tahoe. Expect our lows tonight to drop into the upper 30s to right around 40. Highs for today, meantime, reaching near 60 for the valley and the foothills. 40s for much of this year. It will be nice to see a few flakes of snow coming into this year of forecast. Temperature trend, we've been all over the place. We've been up, we've been down, and it all depended on how much sunshine we saw. Saturday, we had those northwest winds scoured out the clouds, and so many people commenting, oh, the blue skies. And then Sunday, it just came right back along with some cloud cover. Today, we saw a mixed bag. We saw some fog this morning and then sunshine for the afternoon. Tomorrow, we start off with fog. Second up on the list of what we're tracking, showers making a return. So third is going to be the timing and totals of the rain and snow coming in. Our snow water equivalent has been eroding. We saw big gains in early January, and since then it's been pretty much nothing coming in. So we're at about 40 to 80% of average to date throughout this year. That puts the statewide average at 57%. That means all that free savings account of water that's frozen right now that meters off slowly in the springtime and fills our reservoir is just not really as robust as what we saw earlier in the month. So we're sitting at about 60 to 85% of average for our northern reservoirs. As we head into the central reservoirs, we're at about 65 to 80% of average. Tomorrow, again, starting off with dense fog, we have that dense fog advisory until 11 a.m. Limited visibility developing, kind of stretching its way from the south up to the north here, but then it quickly dissipates as we anticipate that next storm system coming on through, giving us anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain. That may be a slightly aggressive number there, about 1 inch or 2 of snowfall coming in. It's a quick mover. Don't blink, because it's going to be in and out of here. Comes through at about 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then by the time we get to Wednesday morning, it's pretty much winding down. But it does give us access to some sunlight, and that's just because it's kind of disrupting that foggy pattern. Highs in the 40s tomorrow for this year, with 50s to near 60 throughout the foothills, near 60 for the coast, and we'll take that inland as well. Again, chilly start to the day, but we'll see some pretty pleasant conditions for the afternoon, with actually some peaks of sunshine coming in for our Wednesday forecast. Tomorrow, it's increasing clouds with rain developing, and then we're right back to potentially a foggy pattern with afternoon peaks of sunshine. Still tracking that weekend weather system. See if we can pull that together, hopefully come together a little bit better and bring us some rain coming up.
So keep an eye out for that, right? Because you might have weekend plans. You're saying May get a little rain this weekend.
Maybe. Don't put the umbrellas away quite yet.
Okay, and my rain boots. I'll keep them around.
We
Maybe
want to
it'll-
use them.
Yes, maybe it'll summon the rain. We'll see how it works. Monica, thank you. Okay. Coming up, the Sacramento Zoo is sharing an update on its newest and cutest arrivals, 5 baby capybaras, all with huge personalities and even bigger names.
Well, coming up new tonight on the news at 6, speeding over 100 could make you lose your license in a day. A new pilot program is fast-tracking tickets straight to the DMV, skipping court and raising the stakes for drivers. What it means for California drivers, all new at 6.
But first, we have an update on the Sacramento Zoo's latest additions. The zoo recently welcomed 5 capybara pups. Testing revealed all 5 of Mom, who is named Peppermint Patty. All 5 of those pups are boys. The animal care team came up with names that embody each pup. And here they are, right there on your screen. Take a look, so adorable. Meat and Dewey, Vienna, Spam, Prosciutto, and Chorizo. You catch the theme here? Which is the biggest pup, that's Chorizo. We're told the veterinary team gave them all different shave spots to help tell them apart. So let's just keep their little cutie pie faces up there for like a little bit and absorb all of this cuteness, Chris. We're loving them. The theme is so funny. Like what, yummy meats and sausages and their cute little faces. I wonder if they eat that sort of thing.
They got a mean side eye going too, don't they?
A little bit, a little sassy.
I love that. Prosciutto, especially, like I'm trying to eat here.
Yup. He's like, don't look at me.
All in my grill. Can you back up a bit? You know,
Yup,
I love that.
That's how I feel about the close-ups too when I'm eating.
No, right? Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. You can watch us anytime right here on the ABC10 app.